absolutely cooked in court. You guys might know him as the most Googled man on the internet. I know him as one of my followers on X. All right. So that's just how it goes. Okay. So I may have some insight and some insider information into the situation, being that he follows me, he's retweeted me, and we DM'd each other. So I'm going to give you a breakdown on what's actually happening in his court case and what everybody is missing. It's got nothing to do with the actual case itself. It's got a lot to do with his lawyers and the way that he set up his businesses. And everybody has a take on it. It's going down. Everybody's got a fucking strong opinion without a lot of fucking understanding of what's happening. I'm going to break it down for you. So when you hear people talking about it, you know actually what's happening, because it's way, way freaking different than what everybody thinks. Also, man, we have a couple other people in the news. I punked a dude at a Tough Enough event, and I guess he was some form of influencer. And he is fighting on Mike Perry's undercard. He is fighting against a guy named Gypsy Crusader, which is kind of wild. So they got some crazy ass fights coming up. I have a little bit of insight into that as well. And also there was another expose happening on a dude named Tai Lopez, and they're saying a lot of the same things about Tai Lopez that are happening to Andrew Tate. What's the difference between Tate's situation and Tai Lopez's situation about renting their cars? They're saying Tai rented his Lamborghinis. They're saying Andrew Tate rented his Bugattis. What's the truth? What do we make of it all? Who's really rich? Who's really broke? We're going to get into all of it, and more importantly, what this all means for the ever-changing landscape of social media, who to believe, who not to believe. Let me check the chat real quick. We got John Dong pulling up. He says, what's up? Sup, John? How you living, bro? All right, guys, my name is King David MMA. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a pro MMA champion. I coach at Extreme Couture. And for the sake of this video, yes, Andrew Tate does follow me. He's retweeted me, and I've talked to him in the DMs. So I've got a little bit more insight into the situation than most people on the planet. All right. And guys, make sure that you follow Fight Circus on Instagram at Fight Circus, home of the Freak Show fights. You may see me in their main event on the last Vegas card that they had. You may have seen me over in Thailand performing with super director Ken Mok, who created America's Next Top Model. I performed there. My former I've cornered felony Charles Bennett. He and I met through Fight Circus. So when you see me corner him in bare knuckle, that's how he and I met, was through Fight Circus. So follow Fight Circus. Also, send your coach to Studio Millions. Studio Millions will pack their gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Because what does your coach want? They want to teach martial arts and change people's lives. You can help them do that. All you got to do is send them to Studio Millions. Studio Millions will take care of the rest, and they will absolutely love you for it. Let me check the chat one more time. We got my dude Lewis in the chat. What's up? My favorite show. I haven't seen you in a while. Man, seems like you're doing really good. Hey, man, likewise, bro. I see you everywhere on, I see you, not everywhere. I see you at one specific gym whose name I'm not going to mention because I used to train there. But, yeah. It's all love, bro. When you gonna pull up on me at Extreme Couture again? That's the question. John Dong says, who you got? Umar or Song? Bro, I got Umar. I got Umar, bro. Dude, this fucking thing. I had this thing all set up correctly. And then right before I went live, had to go back to the old setup. So within a couple days, we're gonna get it right. But if you've not subscribed, man, then I don't know what to tell you. But to those of you who have subscribed, I absolutely appreciate you. Every time I see the subscriber number go up, even if it's by one, I get fucking excited. So shout out to you guys. You guys are the real ones. And if you want to catch the lives, make sure you have notifications set to all notifications because they'll go live at random times. With that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so Andrew Tate's getting cooked in court and on social media. Here's why. Everybody's saying he rented his Bugattis. Now, the first reaction to that is, oh, he faked his lifestyle. Now, his lawyer jumped in on that and said that they do portray an over-the-top lifestyle as a marketing gimmick. And the lawyer said that in, let's say, 2 specific videos, those cars were rented. Now, what does that mean? Let's do the math, because I've done the math. I'm not just talking, guys. I did the math on this, right? So, oftentimes, uber rich people, I have a super rich client who I teach martial arts to. And oftentimes, my uncle was Hulk Hogan. Okay, I got rich people around me. Rich people are very, very concerned with keeping their wealth. They were hyper consumed with creating their wealth. Now they're fucking locked in on keeping their wealth. One way to do that is you put everything in trusts and LLCs and then wrap them in each other. That's a legal discussion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a fucking tax advisor, but that's what they do. So why would someone rent a Bugatti when they could just buy it if you're so rich, right? Well, here's the definition from the internet. Liability protection is the main reason, especially the formal lease-back structure, okay? So that's where you would create a company, you would buy the Bugatti with your LLC, and then you would lease it back to yourself through your company, okay? So liability protection is the main reason, especially the formal lease-back structure. Owning a multi-million-dollar Bugatti or similar hypercar in your personal name exposes your entire personal net worth if something goes wrong. Putting the car in an LLC and renting and leasing it back to yourself creates a legal separation that is much harder for anyone to pierce. Okay? It's not me talking. That's not a lawyer talking. That's the definition from AI through the internet. Okay? But that's the reason why they do it. Now, somebody would go, but bro, they're clearly renting it. They're not as rich as they seem. So let's just play that scenario out, right? Rather than the fucking definition I just gave, which makes perfect sense, let's play in the land of the nonsensical just to hear everybody's side of the, because if you can't argue all sides, then you really don't understand the argument, right? So the counter argument is they're fronting, they're just renting a Bugatti or two because they're broke. Well, Bugatti rentals can be $20,000 to $25,000 a day oftentimes. And the first mention or picture of Andrew Tate in his said Bugatti from the "What color is your Bugatti" fame was 1,700 days ago. So, has he been renting that Bugatti for 1,700 days straight at a rate of $20,000 a day? Has he been renting the other Bugatti every day straight at $20,000 a day? Well, on the absolute low end, if he were to rent them, he would have paid $68 million since the time he's first appeared with the Bugatti. Now, let's just say he only rented it one day out of 30 days. He would have paid $2.27 million to rent those Bugattis one day per month. Why not just buy them? So the argument that he's not rich is wild. There's a lot of shit to be critical about, right? You could go in on him. There's crazy ass shit out there about the dude. The dude's got money, right? Like, can we, no matter our feelings towards someone, can we accurately identify the issue with the person rather than, this is the same thing. When I was talking to you guys about punking that dude that's fighting a Gypsy Crusader, people underestimate that guy because he talks nonsense and because he has a case file with someone who's not of age. Those are all bad things. He's out of his fucking mind talking about a Chinese food employee taught him kung fu at the Chinese restaurant. None of that makes any sense. But when you watch his sparring footage, people are like, oh, he sucks. He didn't do well in sparring. They're removing the context. He was sparring a UFC veteran. No casual, no fucking civilian's going to look good in that scenario. He's not fighting a UFC veteran. He's fighting another influencer. And so people are underestimating, oh, Gypsy Crusader's going to kill him. Dude, bro, listen, they're in for a fight with each other. That is a fight right there. People get everything mixed up. I don't even like the dude, right? He's spoken out about people I know publicly. He said he was going to fight Jake Shields, who trains at my gym, my teammate. Like, but to say that the guy's got no fucking martial arts skill, just because you don't like the dude, that's how people get fucked up. Same thing happened on the other way with Bellamere. Bellamere's going to smoke this girl. We got Dana coming out saying Bellamir's looking to be an Olympic wrestling champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt champion. She's going to be the UFC BJJ champion. She's going to be the UFC champion, and she's going to be the Zuffa Boxer champion. That's her goals. Those are great goals. Shout out to Bellamir. I hope she comes back, and I hope she achieves all that. But she hasn't done that yet. So before she does that, why is it 60-1 odds? People are getting caught up in the emotions of things rather than the objective reality of what's in front of them. That dude who's fighting Gypsy Crusader can throw some crazy ass kicks. He clearly has some form of Taekwondo training or some traditional martial arts training. I'm not saying he got it in a Chinese restaurant, but as a thought experiment, we could go, hey, maybe this dude is trolling the entire internet because he knows people already hate him for his case files. So why not play into that to make himself rich? Now, if you're making the argument that he is a scumbag because of the case that he settled with the girl who was not super old enough to do that, and she had to go to the hospital because it was him and a couple other dudes and she was drugged, or whatever the allegations in the case, and he pled to, whatever the situation is. If he's enough of a scumbag in the reality of everybody calling him a scumbag to do that, wouldn't it be possible? Wouldn't it be plausible that he might be enough of a scumbag to say really ridiculous shit to draw hate on himself to get himself rich and to get him these fights where he's getting paid more than dudes in the UFC are probably getting paid? Like the average dude that starts in the UFC probably is not making as much as this guy everybody on the internet claims to hate, yet they platform him and talk about him. And you notice I don't need to say his name. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't say what I'm just saying. If you don't want the guy to be famous, if you don't like what he did, maybe you stop saying his fucking name. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, so that dude can throw kicks. He did spar a UFC veteran. Did he look like a world beater? No, but he's not fighting a world beater. Hey, does Bellamir have some potential? Yeah. Is her dad a great coach? Yeah. Is he a legend? Yes. Is she? No, she hasn't done it yet. So why are the odds set as if she's done it? A 60-1 fucking favorite is crazy. That's insanity. So what I'm getting at with this video is how to navigate in a world of complete fucking emotional bullshit and actually get closer to the truth so that you can navigate correctly, right? So like, how was I able to pick Justin Gaethje to beat Ilia Topuria? I'm able to get through the fucking navigate the situation. How was I able to pick Sean Strickland over Hamzat, right? People get in these emotional fucking states and then they start believing things that aren't true and it distorts their life. There's a dude at my gym right now and he's banging on Andrew Tate. He's fake. He can't fight. He sucks, right? And I like this dude, right? This is like one of my little buddies from the civilian class and he's fought a couple times in like amateur competitions and stuff. But like to think that Andrew Tate is fucking broke just because you don't like that he has money, right? Rather than do that, hypothetically speaking, maybe take a lesson. Hey, if this dude I don't like, who I believe I'm more talented than, who I maybe believe I'm smarter than, was able to get some money, maybe I can use that as motivation that I should get some money. Because if that motherfucker's getting money, I deserve money. I'm going to go out and figure out how to earn some money or get some money or get in front of some money, right? So either scenario, Andrew Tate rented his car for $68 million, or his two cars or whatever, or $2.27 million if he only rented it one day out of 30 days. Now, that theory is unlikely because he has his name embroidered in the fucking Bugattis and etched in the metal of the Bugattis, which is probably not what they're going to like want you to do if you rent it, right? They don't want you to customize it. But let's just say he did. Between $2 million and $68 million he spent, he's still rich. Or he just bought it and put it in an LLC for liability purposes, which seems like the more direct answer. Either way, dude's making some dough. There was a data leak, like a breach on his online community, And he has had a total, at the time of the breach, he had 794,000 people who have paid him money. He was charging $49 a month, and now he charges $99 a month. Even with his affiliate payouts, even with the fact that they all are not paying $99 a month, if they only stayed on average, now I'm not talking about people that have stayed 2, 3, 4 years. I'm talking about if the average person only stayed 2 to 3 months, he's brought in $80 to $120 million. That's not even counting his $5,000 to $8,000 upsell, which he has hundreds of members in. So I'm not here to make the case that Andrew Tate is rich. I'm just making the case that this is an example of how emotions get involved and people get blindsided when they're picking fights, or when they're, hey, I think this thing is going to go to the moon, or I think this, or like, there's a very, very simple way of removing emotions out of the situation and looking at actually what's happening in fucking front of you. And it's crazy that as much as I feel for, like, let's say a teammate, one of the dudes at the gym was asking me about a certain teammate of mine. Because several people at the gym have been talking about Jake Paul, right? Hey, could so-and-so beat Jake Paul? Could so-and-so beat Jake Paul? Could so-and-so beat Jake Paul in boxing? And there were a couple people like that I believe would beat Jake Paul in boxing that I trained with. There are few people who I don't believe would beat Jake Paul, who I train with. Now, as emotionally connected to my team as I am, as emotionally invested in the success of my teammates as I am, that doesn't change their ability to box with Jake Paul. Jake Paul, being a YouTuber and former Disney star who trolls the internet, doesn't change his ability to box. He went multiple rounds with Anthony Joshua. That's crazy. Oh, he was running. Well, dude, a lot of people couldn't last that long. Run or not, and he landed an overhand. I'm just saying. I don't know. The truth is out there, guys. It's right in front of everybody's face, yet so many people don't want to hear about it. For example, Tai Lopez had the same business setup for his mansions and his Lambos as Andrew Tate does, which is put them in the LLC to remove the liability from the individual being the owner, right? So you own them through the liability, the LLC, to remove the liability from you, right? And then you lease it from the company that you set up to hold them. Now, people are critical of Tai Lopez. Well, what's the difference? The difference is Tai Lopez is involved in a lawsuit that says that he willingly and knowingly, allegedly took money from people to buy out failing businesses. And what he was doing was telling people, hey, I'm going to go buy out Radio Shack, which I believe he did. And then it's going to go to the moon. So send me all your money and then we're going to invest in it together. And then I'm going to go buy that brand. But he wasn't putting up his own dough. So he was taking investors' money and putting it into like fucking very high risk. This is already a failed business. This business has gone out of business. Now he's going to take investors' cash, and great, if it goes to the moon, he and the investors get paid. But if it doesn't, they're out. So that's a completely different thing than him putting his Lamborghini in a fucking LLC wrapped in a trust. And, you know, let's even go further. Then people are putting life insurance policies on themselves and then taking out fucking loans against the life insurance policy. Dude, it gets fucking crazy. I'm not saying that's what anybody should do. This is not legal or financial advice, obviously. I'm just saying that's what I've seen rich people do, being around them. So, is Andrew Tate over the top? Yes. Is he rich? Yes. Do you have to like him? No. Could you learn something from the fucking dude? Yeah. Is it what you want to learn? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. But like, hey, I don't like his delivery, but his business model seems to work, which is get eyeballs, get affiliates, push them to an offer, X amount of people sign up, Y amount of people don't. Then you got 1,000 people signed up. The average person stays 6 months at $100. That's $600 per person. I've got 1,000 people that come through a month. Now and then you start doing math, and then you can reverse engineer how much you could spend to acquire that customer. Hey, if the average person pays me $600 lifetime, well, then I can spend less than $600 and I'm essentially operating at a profit. Now, you got overhead and a bunch of other shit, but just to make the math simple, you could go do that for some other shit. It could be like how to be ethical on the internet and fucking friendly to everybody or whatever, if you don't like his delivery. But it doesn't mean that the business model's broken. The other thing, I've got some close friends that I train with, and they really are anti-rich people, but they want to be rich people. But when you talk to them about it, they're like, dude, it's impossible out here. The rich people want to keep you down. Dude, that's going to keep a motherfucker broke. Oh, Andrew Tate's faking it. I knew he was full of shit. Dude, that's going to keep a motherfucker broke. So one thought process could be, hey, some people get rich and are good people. Some people get rich and bad people. The money doesn't care. The money cares about the business model. So if one was a good person and one operated the business model like a math equation, one could, in theory, get good results from that math problem. The way math works is universal for everybody. Same thing with a fucking recipe, right? Hey, here's the recipe. Okay, I'm going to follow the recipe. 2 eggs, sugar, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I got some fucking cupcakes. I got some muffins. Whatever. Muffin is a cupcake without icing. That's another debate. We can talk about that later. But the business model works, right? The recipe works. If you get the recipe and it's the real recipe from the chef, which we can all publicly see what he's doing. He had clippers running traffic to an affiliate offer, and he had a recurring business model where people would pay monthly, and then he would upsell a super high ticket item, which is his war room, for $5,000 to $8,000. How could you recreate that? That's the recipe. Maybe you do it on fitness coaching. Maybe you have a way of doing it with a fucking accountability app. Maybe there's a dude out there selling a meditation app, right? And so it doesn't have to be, oh, you got to be over the top. You got to be, dude, no, bro. There's the Andrew Tates of the world, and then there's the exact opposite, and both will convert, right? Hey, are you tired of these over the top, flashy gurus showing what's really important is family and taking care of yourself, your church, and your community. And if you want to learn how to get money on the internet in an ethical, honest way that you can be proud of on Sundays when you're going to your community church with your wife and your kids, then I'm going to show you an ethical and honest way. Like, you could switch the whole fucking pitch up. But the business model works. Get a certain percentage in, keep them for how long, do the math on how much money that makes you, buy customers for less than that. One way he did it was affiliates, paying out a 50% commission. So every person that comes in, he pays out half and he keeps half. Okay, well, he doesn't pay until it gets sold. So he doesn't have to put any money up front. So that's why he was going out saying crazy shit. Women simply cannot drive. Give me 2 coffees and a sparkling water now. Boom, clip goes viral. Affiliates clip it, send traffic to it. The affiliate only gets paid when the conversion happens, which is the sale. Boom, Tate put up no money. He made half. He talked a bunch of shit. People shared it. He became more popular. Everybody on the planet was Googling him. He was the most Googled man on the planet at some time. He had an offer that converted. 1 in a fucking 100 people that went to his website bought, and he had 10 million people go to his website, whatever the numbers are, right? Like, that's how it works. So, anyways, I'm the point of why I'm saying all this is because I've been able to win a professional MMA title at 44 fucking years old just by looking at reality. Like, hey, what's happening? I've heard a lot in the MMA community. Position before submission. And just as a fucking thought experiment, what if we flipped that around and we went attack submissions to improve our position? You know what I mean? Like, what doors would that open up? I don't know. I'm 45 fucking years old and I'm able to go with top 10 fighters in the UFC in pro practice and not only hang, do well. Because it's like there's objective reality and then there's the narrative. And if you could just like oftentimes some things that are happening in the narrative are true. I'm not saying don't listen to the narrative. I'm saying listen to the true parts of the narrative. Right? But if you can move away from blindly listening to the narrative and go into like what's true about this and what's fake and what would be more true that I can replace and then form your own curation of belief, then you can fucking navigate however the fuck you want in life. Anyways, let me read the chat, guys. I'm on a rant right now. I'm actually going to pull up tomorrow for sparring. I got to do a video for Abijah. Oh, shit. Okay. You're doing one for Abijah. Let's freaking go, man. Arpon the Don says, let's go. Real one. Are alive. Andrew has Bugatti. You can too. Bro, that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? Like, and what's the better belief to have? That you could do it or that you can't? Like, what is what if I think I can and then I don't? Then I'll be disappointed. It's like, yeah, or you could just say that you're never going to do it because it's impossible and then walk around hating people that did it the whole time. And then it's like, I'm not saying you got to go that hard. That motherfucker's very, very money motivated. But like, could you get a little side hustle? Like I was seeing a side hustle today. You can go on Alibaba and you can get eyebrow printers for women. So they got makeup on them and they put them on their eyebrow and they go like this and then they pull it off and then they have a fucking perfectly drawn eyebrow, which they can either put on their bald ass eyebrows that they shave or pluck or laser off or whatever, or they can put it over their existing eyebrow like they often do with makeup, but instead of having to draw it in, they just press it. Boom. These things are selling on fucking AliExpress for like, whatever it was, $1.37 or $3 or whatever the fuck it was. You can resell them for $26. The dude was doing this with AI TikToks. He had an AI chick pressing her eyebrow, moving her hand, and now she's got an eyebrow drawn on, and then she does it on the other side, she does it on the other side. And these reels were getting like 50K views per reel, which that's not a ton of views. But if it's women who want eyebrows and you got 50,000 of them seeing a product demo on each reel you put out, and you've put out 12 reels, right? Now you're starting to add it up. You've got 500,600,000 interested women who do their eyebrows seeing your done for you eyebrow product. Even if 1 in a fucking 100 buy, like you're making hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of sales. Yeah, you would make what, 6,000 sales? 6,000 sales? Like my buddy Vance, he got beat up bad, concussed, broken facial features. And he took some blue dye and it fixed his brain. That's his words, not mine. I'm not a doctor. And because he found such benefit in it, he started a company called Meraki Medicinals. They sell methylene blue and other fringy health products. Vance is a millionaire. He went from being a broke MMA fighter, getting his face broken, concussed, bad, concerned about his brain health, to being a multimillionaire by putting up a Shopify store with some blue dye on it. Now, does the blue dye have benefits? I've used it after I've been hit in the head. So I thought it made me feel better. Personally, that's not advice. Don't do anything ever, or do stuff, whatever your doctor says. Listen to your doctor. But the point of the matter is, even if you went like a percentage is hard, you like side hustle, man. Maybe your girlfriend makes good donuts. Fucking sell donuts on the weekend. You know what I mean? There's this app. They got an app where you can sell food out of your kitchen on the app. An extra $500 a month. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck, whatever your goal is, right? But my point is this, like, the reality is it's not all bad no matter what the fucking news tries to tell you. The reason why it can seem like it's all bad is because humans have something called an amygdala in their brain. And the amygdala is what kept us alive as cavemen. Why? Because if we're walking through a forest or a desert and we see a fucking stick and we accidentally step on it and it bites us, it turns out to be a fucking cobra, we die. But if we see a cobra and we go, oh shit, that's a cobra. Oh wait, no, it's a stick. There was no downside to that. So our brain is designed to give false importance to potentially negative situations, even if the negative situation isn't real or isn't accurate. It keeps us alive by always defaulting to things are more negative than they are. Well, in a society that's super safe, like the Western world is nowadays, the news will get the social media will have you thinking shit's, oh my gosh, what's going to happen out there, right? And it's like, dude, we're safer than we've ever been in society. Things are better than they've ever been. We can literally do whatever the fuck we want. They got fucking Claude bots and fucking Grok bots. This dude, he's on X, and he literally has Grok bot trading money for him. Never do this. Only listen to a financial expert. I'm not a financial expert. I don't have a degree. I guess you have to have a degree in this country. I'm in America right now. So I guess you have to have a degree to be a financial expert, right? You can't just be rich or something. Like, I got a really, really rich friend, and I'm like, he can't give me financial advice, even though he's really rich, but I can go to a CPA who makes $50,000 a year and then listen. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. But this dude's got Grokbot trading stocks for him under the fucking pretense, Grok, you are a bot. You're supposed to go out and give me money. If my account with you drops under X amount of dollars, then I delete you and you no longer exist. So you have to maintain an upward positive account at all times. Your existence depends on it. And so now the bot, I know we're getting fucking trippy, right? The bot wants to remain in existence. And in order to do that, it has to keep making this dude money. There's crazy shit out there. Anyways, guys, yeah, we got off on a tangent. My point being, emotions don't fucking matter. What matters is the fucking recipe. The dude's giving you the recipe and place out. I'm not saying you even got to join his shit. I'm just saying, you peep what he did. Oh, shit. He made a bunch of content. He got clippers to clip it. He had an affiliate offer. X amount of people stayed. Y amount of months. Repeat. Say more and more for him. His traffic source was saying more and more controversial shit, right? Someone else's traffic source, like Andrew Huberman, might be saying more and more authoritative shit, right? Because he's like a fucking medical doctor. So people trust Andrew Huberman. And people are building businesses by sponsoring his show, right? Gary Brecka partnered with Grant Cardone, and they were doing like $12 million a month or some shit. Some amazing, awesome number selling 10X Health, which is like, you go get your blood work done, and then you send it into us, and then we tell you what vitamins to take and prescribe you, I don't know, maybe testosterone or something. Whatever the fucking, like, there's opportunity out there. The future's fucking awesome. I'm excited, guys. Dude, yeah. So anyways, that was my point of the whole thing. Like, Let's understand how our brains work. Our brains are designed to find negativity to keep us alive, because if it turns out to be positive, then we're up. But if we automatically think everything's positive and it turns out to be negative, we could get snake bite. So knowing that, this is the last thing I'll leave you with. When I'm on social media and something negative comes up in my feed and I'm like, oh shit, what happened? I go, hey, that's my brain trying to keep me alive. This isn't actually relevant to me. This happened 3,000 miles away from me. I'm not even going to look at it. So I don't look at it. And then if you want to go to the next level, I curate my feed. So I interact with posts that I like, and then I ignore posts I don't like, and all of a sudden I've got, you can get rich. Here's how to do jujitsu. Here's wrestling. Dude, my wrestling is getting so fucking good because like my entire feed is almost all wrestling. I'm focusing on what I want, not hearing about some fucking shit that happened somewhere overseas or something like. And I know, oh my gosh, you gotta have fucking, dude, listen. What is me feeling bad in America gonna do for anybody overseas? Like really, like their life is not improved by you feeling bad. So unless you got a solution or are going to do something, or like you feeling bad doesn't help anybody, not even you. So focus on some positive shit. Let's fucking go, guys. I'll see you in the next live. I love you. Peace.